Good evening everybody, and welcome to another video, possibly the last one for this year. Tonight's video will be about Planet Zoo, which is a game which involves a lot of building. If you've watched this channel before, you know that I make a lot of speed build videos, and as a result I have to use a lot of creativity and ideas to make the habitats unique. Some people may struggle with this, however, and the same square habitat with a hut off in a corner with some food, toys and water gets old for most people. If you're in a similar situation or just want new ideas, then this is the video for you, as these are my 6 best unique habitat ideas. Enjoy. This habitat has a strange name but is honestly quite simple. All you have to do is dig a hole with a flat edge on one side. The hole will be the viewing area. Now make a glass window pressed against the flat edge and dig a little cave. Make sure that the cave, or at least a bit of it, is visible through the glass though. It also works best for cave animals and smaller animals. One of the best parts about this is it works for all kinds of build styles. If you want to build a realistic park, a natural park, simple park, sci-fi Star Wars park, anything will work for this. You may even want to add a secret chamber with a viewing dome inside. There's also an alternative way I'm showing now where you can make the cave an open deeper area and fill it with lots and lots of water. So this is like a lake with underwater glass viewing. I would have made this a separate thing, but one, the water is quite common, so I decided to just add it as a sort of honourable mention. The dome, or round habitat, is a classic element of any more advanced than simple zoo. So if you prefer simple builds, maybe you won't use this, but if you want to broaden your building variety, this is a good start. No one dislikes a good dome. Many ways to build it, but by far the best is what I call the table duplication method. Simply make walls as high as you like on opposite sides of your preferred dome space, add a roof. You can make this a rounded, taller roof or just a flat roof, and duplicate and rotate until every gap is filled. This is admittedly not the best example I could do, but it's just a rough example. It's meant to look like you can do a lot better, I believe in you. Now that you have the dome and the shape, you're free to add anything you like inside of it. It's less the actual contents of the habitat I'm talking about, but the actual habitat itself. You can add a walkthrough, maybe a little viewing area going inside, anything. My favourite idea with the dome is to use a flat roof beneath a raised dome roof cap, so both roof ideas. Cut a hole in the bottom roof, and you can add like a little garden at the top for monkeys with climbing frames and stuff. Make it like a 2-story. This is the pit habitat, which is a fairly uncommon idea. This involves digging a pit in the ground and placing a path around the outside. Either by an underground tunnel or by the bridge. You can add a gate anywhere you want. This is a perfect habitat for people playing in parks with limited money, as the barriers cost absolutely nothing because it's natural. You just need to place the markers. Don't cost anything, you've just got the walls of the pit. Just need to place some rocks around the outside where the gate is so the animals don't get out, and around the top if you're making a realistic park because you don't want any guests going in. If you're making a bridge, however, you may want to make an island in the middle like what I'm doing. A cool thing about this island is that if you're making a water habitat, you can just add water around this raised bit, and now you have an actual like island in the middle of the sea. And also I think it's just easier for visibility. Now this one is a very well known habitat, but many seem to have an idea as to how it's made. Well, little thing you need to know, it involves a bit of glitching. This is a tunnel with a path that goes right through the water. No terrain or nothing, just you, a wall and a path. Some of you may want to miss the wall though, just float in the water. You may think that it's odd to include a glitched habitat, but I'm pretty sure Vronte themselves used it in the otter habitat for the Wetlands Back launch trailer. Also, the game's 4 years old and this first few days Big Discovery's gone unpatched for all this time. Bit of information, you need to enable tunnelling on your paths and make sure the habitat is already filled with water, unless it will fill the path, which is a no-no, it won't let you. You also need to learn from my mistakes in this example and use a wider path than intended to tunnel and then change to narrow it for the actual build, otherwise you'll be blocked by these little spiky bits. Remember that you weren't supposed to be able to do this, which means that if you go too far above the path you'll be underwater, and a couple other strange features. However, I did manage to hide the spikes with some walls and faux rocks, but you're better off not doing it how I did the path to begin with. Now this idea is quite an interesting one, but the cost of this is that I know many people watching this maybe won't want to use this. Some might. Using a pre-built blueprint and expanding it to turn it into an enclosure. This is good for themed habitats, though some of you who are more creative or don't want to use the things the game already gives you probably won't like using this. It works with any blueprint, it doesn't have to be one of the pre-installed ones. Use one of your own old blueprints. Steal someone else's off the workshop, okay maybe don't do that. Anything. Some players might like the idea of expanding, fixing, renovating, revamping stuff, and this is where you can do so in Planet Zoo. It's also a lot better and easier than having to make your own indoor enclosure for some too. I personally wouldn't do this build myself, but that's my building preference and style. It's nothing to my actual opinion. And finally, my favourite habitat idea is... And idea number 6 is, look online or go on a day out and look for a zoo habitat you like. This could be not even at a zoo, you could go to like a wildlife park, like a nature reserve, or just go out for a walk in the woods and find a place that you like. I made a video a few months back, if you want a quicker way of doing that, about London Zoo, link should be up here. Maybe skip forward a few minutes on that video as the first part is just the tube journey. But there is some real good habitats in there. The one I'm doing right now is based slightly off the Komodo dragon habitat. I am changing this one a bit to house a wolverine. Don't be afraid to change bits of habitats you're liking. You can either do a complete recreation, which is perfectly fine. You can change it up a little bit. You can do whatever you want really. And those are all my ideas. Have a great 2 and a little bit days left of the year, and I'll maybe see you again in 2024 unless I do another short. And with all that out of the way, happy 2024, happy New Year. Also, New Year's Day is my birthday, so happy birthday to me.